All right, now here we are. Week in review show. This could be year in review. This could be season in review. However you want to look at it. But we're here again in season 5 of the SMFL Football League. Uh, this is Steve. I had a wife, and I have with me Panama Jack Wade. You there?
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
I'm good, man. We haven't done this in a minute. We kind of fell off last season, but happens. Um, I guess the best we can do at this point is just go back and recap the Super Bowl in season 4. Uh, the uh, the Ravens actually were the Eagles in real life and spoiled the Kansas City Chiefs like they did. They spoiled the LA Rams like the Eagles did the Chiefs and stopped the three-peat. Um, so that being said, that gives both um, teams 2 Super Bowls apiece. The Prince won the first one against another team. I forget who that was, but they had one on the books right out the gate first season. Then Rams came in and he got the next two. Was trying to do a dynasty and get a third one, but Prince said, "Not on me, you won't." And he hit him in the head. And once he got in front of him, he never looked back. So the end of that one was 49-28 Ravens. It was a good game. I mean, uh, from watching it, it was a good game. I'm not sure if the Rams would agree. I mean, there were some things that were happening in the game that that weren't bad, but like picks he didn't get and stuff like that, or the team, it just didn't gel like I thought it would. Your thoughts on that game, Wade?
Well, I didn't get a chance once again to see the Super Bowl, but I know from playing Prince that you gotta, in order to beat him, you gotta be on your best game. You can't make mistakes and overcome your mistakes with him because he's too good on defense to turn you over or uh, put the points on and recognize the weakness in whatever defense you called. He's too good at that. So I can just imagine what the game was like, even though I didn't get to see it because it was when I went to go watch it was disappeared off of
Twitch?
Twitch. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't there
Well,
no more.
no, it was a good game. But like I said, Prince wasn't trying to get beat 3 times in a row, so he uh, he stood his ground and broke the both the three-peat and tied it up 2-2 in Super Bowl trophies with the Rams. There's a new owner who's doing his thing in the league. Came in right out the gate and got a Super Bowl. So you know, is
Yeah,
won 2 in a row and then lost that last one. But hey, I'm sure he'll be back in season 5, and you know, if he gets there, I mean, he'll get there. But I mean, he almost didn't get there this season. It's just a couple of mistakes made by a couple of teams, or the last team he had to play in the conference finals, I think it was, um, and a couple of mistakes, and he came back and won, and made it to bowl. Um, okay, so that being said, uh, we could just this isn't going to be too long. This is just a recap, basically, of some of the stuff we remember. Because obviously didn't write none down, but we're in. We're in season 5. What did you think of the draft?
um, did I got the computer did most of my draft and I got a couple uh hidden players, but yeah, the draft there was plenty of good people on the draft, and I came out good even though I was late to the draft.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't do bad. I didn't need too much. Uh, I just kind of kept it simple and beefed up the D line a little more, and you know, just basically, drafted to fill a roster also. But yeah, so I'm sure that what I noticed in that draft, a lot of teams were picking offensive linemen. It was real heavy in offensive linemen. Um,
Mm.
and it looked like a lot of them had A's across the board. I mean, I'm looking at what game I was just watching. I was watching um, the Black Knights and the Giants this first game, and you see a lot of stars across the offensive line of these teams now, um, which can be good, or should be good, but a lot of times uh, you know it's the person with the team that makes the mistake and not throwing the ball or whatever. So it's you could have a great line, but if you're not that good of or if you're
Well,
not
you got to
playing up
shift
to
your line
par.
correctly. You got to shift your line correctly, especially against, uh, uh, some of these teams now have really good defensive tackles that get block sheds right at the snap. It seems like, and so if you don't know how to shift your line to deal with that, then it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, so we can take the AFC, and you could hit the schedule and look at the games that were played. I think there's only a couple of games that didn't get played. Well, Jaguars and the
Yeah.
Raiders are paying now, so that's that. And then the Falcons and the Saints have to play, and that's basically it. The rest is
How about
CPU.
we just go to the league page and we can read down what games haven't been played yet and what games have. There's two different things there, so I'll just
Um,
pick the left side. If you
okay,
go to the league page.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the New England and the Jets hasn't played yet.
That's a
The e-
CPU game. Jets
okay,
gets the force win.
yeah, that's right. The Eagles lost to the Buccaneers 24-17. Dolphins beat the Browns 45-16. The Wizards barely lost to the Lions 28-27. The Jacksonville and the Vegas Raiders game hasn't been played yet.
They're playing as we speak.
Okay, the Oilers and the Chargers. Oilers 36-14. And then you got the Atlanta and New Orleans haven't played yet. And the very last one on the left side would be the Rams and the Cardinals 28-7.
Yeah, yeah. Um, on the right side, we got Orlando against Washington. That game's going to, I guess, be a forced win. Washington said that time was set and the other team didn't make it, so he's asking for that. Um, my game, 24, Dragons 24, Kansas City Chiefs 6. Um, Steelers 63.
Are you sure he wasn't like asleep or something when you beat him?
No, he had just gotten off work. Well, you can't give me credit for having a good game. Somebody's got to have a,
There's got to
off
be something
off
going
day.
on, man. He,
No, I just played him well. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? He
all
didn't. He
right,
didn't. He didn't play his. He played his game, but I played him well. That's what I can say. It was a good game.
all right.
Steelers and the Bengals. No surprise here, 63-14. I just don't see what Chuck is doing. That he just can't. He just can't get it together. But it is what it is. Green Bay and the Titans, 10 beat down, 56-20. And you got the Bills and the Seahawks, and that was your game. I mean, was your guy asleep, or what happened? You just got lucky.
No, I
35 to
I just got
20.
a couple turnovers late.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 49ers and the Broncos is a force win for the 49ers. Giants lost in overtime to the Knights. That's CML and Doc. Uh, Giants had a chance to win it with a field goal before OT, and he had a brain fart. And of course, you know what happens when you brain fart. You miss. And that's what he did and went into overtime, and pretty much the Knights pulled that out. And of course, you have the Colts 26 and the Ravens 42. The Ravens and the you know returning champ is trying to stay on top right out the gate. So 42-26 in that one. Um, I'm hearing a lot about uh, new players and stuff like that as far as the draft and stuff. So you know, you think some teams would be better, uh, uh, but as I said, sometimes it's just the way that the games are played. If we look at the top performers so far for week one, you got over here. I'll do the passing, you can do the rushing, and so we'll alternate. Right now, Tennessee Titans is on top with their quarterback with 78 completion rate with 338 yards and 4 TDs. And you had the Seahawks who actually lost their game. Um, their quarterback had a 50% completion rate of 318 and 3 touchdowns. And the Lions, who won their game, I believe, yeah, uh, their quarterback was 59%, 300 yards, passing, 2 touchdowns.
For rushing, we got Tampa Bay. I, is that it's not Roddy White? Anyway, 17 rushes for 124 yards and a touchdown. And then the second one is for your guy Joe Mixon, 8 rushes for 121. Ooh, you got good runs in there. 121 yards and a touchdown. And PAR, what team is PAR?
PAR. Did somebody
Is that
move? Uh, Not sure, but go ahead. W. Weathers. We'll figure that
Yeah,
one out.
W. Weathers, 22 rushes, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't see where that says that anywhere, but okay. Receiving yards. So far, the Jalen Waddle, I guess that's the Jalen Waddle that left Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, he had 5 receptions for 168 yards and 1 touchdown. Then you had T. Spear, and you were like, well, Miami doesn't have Waddle anymore. But I said, yeah, but they still got Spear, and he did his thing with 5 receptions for 165 yards and 1 touchdown. And now it's making me wonder. Let me go look. Legit, PAR, X legit, 3 touchdowns, 149 yards. You could do the sacks, but I'm going to
All
take a
right.
look at teams and see who the heck is PAR legit, what team he was on.
Expansion Paris.
I
Okay,
don't know.
we got Kansas City.
Um,
We're sacks. We got Kansas City. R. Stoudemire at 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. We got Detroit. A. McNeil, defensive tackle, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. We got Houston. D. Turner, 2 sacks
can
and 2 tackles for loss.
I know that.
And go ahead.
Okay. So, um, then we have for interceptions, we got N. Cross for Indiana for the Colts. Free safety had 3 picks. Tennessee Titans, his middle linebacker, J. Colson had 3 picks. The Pittsburgh's, I guess that's Patrick Queen, uh, or P. Queen, had three picks.
In tackles, we have Taylor Britt for the Bengals with 9 tackles, 6 solo. Miami T. Bernard, 9 tackles and 5 solo. And then we have for Paris, I'm just going to call him Paris right now. Quinn Williams, 5 tackles and 5 solo tackles.
Yeah, I don't know what team that is. He had to just change it. Who's PAR? I don't get it. Okay, we'll figure it out. I should have known. I should have looked. Because when you look on the screen, there's
Yeah, let me
no,
look at this real
unless
quick.
it's, I don't know. Could it be? It's a light blue team. It's not the Oilers.
Yeah, I'm looking on the other
It's not
screen
the
here now.
Titans. The Chargers, did they move?
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
yeah. I
That's
don't know.
funny. I don't see it. Doesn't even say it there. At least uh, maybe that's some type of error. But anyway, all right. So right now, um, we're starting this season out, and I'm hearing through the grapevine this is possible. It might be the last season, depending on what happens here. Um, I know there's some guys talking about this is the last one they're playing, so you're going to lose a few more people uh, at the end of this season. And you know, if anybody has any players or know of anybody that might want to get in, the Patriots is open, and right now the Broncos are open. It's still early; they can get in and get a couple of good teams because actually the Broncos um, drafted some pretty good guys, and I'm sure the Patriots CPUs usually do well with the draft, so they may have some good players in there on top. But
You know, if I could interrupt for just a second, that's one of the things why I was saying a while ago is that we, for the way we rush our seasons in, you know, I believe, and maybe we could take a vote on it, or the commissioners can take a vote on it. But I think we could make every single weekend a 3-day weekend, and then go 48 hours advance on the weekdays, just so that people could say, "Hey, man, I'm going to take a holiday weekend off and get their game in early," and they don't have to worry about getting that second game in over the weekend. They don't have to take a loss, And
um,
it doesn't seem to me that we need to hurry and get a rush season in that bad, get that and make it so that people can actually take a holiday weekend off.
right. Well, I mean, that's something that they could talk about, but odds are, prolonging it, people are impatient with 2 days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they are, but still, people can get over that just if they know that it's going to make them able to just go for, get out of the house for a weekend.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I don't think, uh, that'll happen, but you never know. Um, but I think
You
it's
could just do it by having like I say, if any time it ends on a Saturday, that we just make it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you know.
well, technically, if it ends on a Saturday, it's still Sunday, Monday.
But
You mean
but
if it
you
ends on
have
a Saturday, it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's got to be 3 days, not two.
well, no, you get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to get your games in. You got till Monday to get your games in.
So you're saying if we start on Saturday, not end.
Yeah, I
If it
mean
falls
you
on
could
a
work it
Saturday,
out.
yeah. Well, I mean, who knows, man? I don't know. Commissioners seem like they're, uh, I'll say maybe a little worn out. Who knows? Uh, you know, but
Well, they need to take a weekend vacation then. That make them not
yeah,
worn out.
yeah. I just think it's a daunting task to, you know, uh, run a league. It's not easy. I mean, it takes some commitment, but um,
Absolutely.
you got to do what you got to do. You just can't do anything. You got to stick to what it is. So let's take some predictions. It's early week one. Um, and we're going to start with your division. And your division is Miami won it last year, so now you no longer have the Patriots unless somebody pops on that team. So basically, it's you, the Jets, and Miami, and you know, uh, one of you two will win that division if no fourth man comes in and takes the Patriots. So I mean, uh,
Right.
at the end of the day,
I'm gonna go out on a limb this season and say that I'm gonna win that. It's not gonna be easy because he's handled we played some close games and played games where I played like ass and he beat me by like 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, whatever. I'm real confident in my after playing my first game. I'm real confident in my team that I have now. My my defensive ends and defensive line is better now than it was a year ago. I got a good chance I think to win that division, and our scheduling this year is we don't play each other until the last 3 weeks of the season. And then I think I play him 3 weeks before the end and then again on the last game of the season. And so that's kind of weird, but
Yeah, you play
we're
him
not going
week
to find out
16,
until
week 16 and 18. But if I look at your schedule's not that hard in a sense. I mean, you got me next week, you got the Browns, and then after that you got a CPU game, and then you got the Jets. So right now you can either go 5-0, 2 4 5-0, you beat everybody, or the least you can get is uh, you're going to get 2 wins right out the gate because of the Patriots and the Jets. So you'll be 3-0. Now, if you split the difference, you might be 4-1 or 5-0, depending on what happens with me and the Browns. Then you go to your bye week. Now you come out of your bye week, you got the Ravens.
yeah,
So there
that,
you go with that one. You might have
there's a
a
loss right
battle.
there.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
say it unless I get lucky.
uh, yeah. Then there's the Wizards, who don't really know much. I hadn't played them yet, but you never know. You could pull that out. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you win there. So now you're 5-1, and then you got the Jets, and then after that it becomes a little bit of a run. Then you got the Cardinals, then the Bengals, then the Rams, 49ers, Steelers, Raiders. So basically, from week 12 on, I'm gonna say is where your
That's what
gauntlet
my gaunt.
starts.
That yeah.
Yeah, because you're going up against the Rams. I mean, I'm not gonna sleep on Chuck. Chuck could mess around and do something silly and get a win because he's known for that. But Bengals, Rams, 49ers, Steelers, Raiders, Dolphins, and then the Pats, which is like a rest day, I guess. And then you bet the Dolphins last. So there's a good chance you'll make the playoffs, whether you win your division. Well, let's take a
Yeah.
look. Let's take a look at the Dolphins' schedule and see what they look like. So, all right. So the Dolphins already won. Now they're gonna go. They're gonna be 3-0 when they get to Week 4 because they're playing the Jets, then the Patriots CPU game, then they come up against the Colts. So they run into a wall here with the Colts, Ravens, uh, so they could be 3-2 or 4-1 or 5-0. Then they play the Bengals, and that's could be a
You
win.
know, I think the difference is he's got the Lions week 15, and I don't think I have to play the Lions.
Well, but that's not just it because the strength of your schedule may dictate how your team plays.
Right, right.
So, like I'm
We play
saying,
pretty much everyone else but the Lions.
um, you play the Seahawks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean your
both play the
schedule:
Seahawks.
Patriots, Jets, and then you come up against the Rams. Then he comes up against the Rams, Lions, Bills, Chiefs, and Bills. So his last week 14 to 18, them last 5 games is his gauntlet to either
Yeah,
run through.
yeah.
So his last 5 games is like that. And your start.
Well, he's
Uh,
got to play the Ravens too, the Ravens and the Colts, and
right, but his his
I think the Colts could beat him
yeah, but
maybe.
his last 4 games is where he's got the toughest. Where yours starts at week 10. I mean, you got the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Steelers, Raiders, Dolphins, and it doesn't stop until week 17. So at that rate, there's 6 games in there that you got to play that you could either lose 5 of them or split the difference. But yeah, scheduling is different. So, but
Well,
yeah,
the thing is the last few years I've been losing my games in the early weeks, and so my team. morale has been low. By the, by the time I stack on some more wins, and get to the middle of the season and get caught up on the win loss record, and this time I may not have morale issues in the middle of the season, so I don't have teams, doing stupid shit
Right.
during the game. Players doing stupid shit.
Right. So then, that division there can go either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, if we go over the AFC North, you got once again Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. I mean, I'm gonna go with the Ravens repeating from what I understand in his draft, what he drafted and how he's doing. Only one that can give. Well, I mean, you never know. I'll say the Ravens will win the division again. And it's a battle between the Steelers and the uh, Browns. If Brenton can get his team on track and not fall, he might be able to get in the playoffs, depending on what he does. Uh, like I said, in your division, I mean, I guess I gotta go with the Dolphins simply because they won
He's
it
done
last
it.
season.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, AFC South. So now we got my team, Tokyo Dragons, Titans, um, Colts, and Jacksonville. And at this rate, it's one game. So Indiana actually won. The Colts actually won the the, the division, and then I think yeah, well, none of us made it in there. We were jockeying with you, me, and the Jaguars was jockeying. I was there first in the seventh seed, and then he came. I lost the game, and then they put him in the seventh seed, and then something happened where me and you were tied at 8-8, and they put you in there, I guess, because you had beat me, and that's where it ended up. So I didn't.
Yeah.
None of the three teams made the playoffs. The only one that made the playoffs was the Colts. Um, this year, you know, I'm not going to say I'll win the division. I think I'll make the playoffs if I play right. It's a toss up. Tim has a better team. I mean, if we look at the teams, I think at some point we can go in and we can look at each team and kind of see how their strengths
Well,
and their weaknesses.
Tim's been playing kind of doing what I'm doing is he's having a good season every other season, and that would make him do this season to have a good season.
Right, because last season he didn't do well. Um, then so out of there, I mean, I'll still say Indiana may take the division, um, depending on what happens in the near future. Then you got the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders. Low Sweater, Gaddafi, and King Four. Well, the Chiefs, uh, they got a good team. I think. I mean, I'm looking at it. It was like a 99. The offense is 99 overall. I don't know how that is, but I managed to squeak out a win against them. But at the end of the day, you got a 99 overall offense. You should be clicking, but things happen.
Yeah.
Um, Gaddafi, Gaddafi's Gaddafi. Maybe he'll be a spoiler. I don't know if he's going to win 3, 4, 5 games in a row. I just think that he likes playing and he's good when he wants to be, but I don't know. And Low Sweater actually surprised me. He had a great season last season, and you know he uh, he could give Kansas City a run for his money, but we'll see. Out of there, I'm still gonna go with Kansas City, even though they're 0-1 at this point. I think once he gets his bearings, he'll start winning. What do you
I
think?
agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
him and Low Sweater beat it there in the playoffs probably in that division. That's my take.
yeah. I mean, depending on what happens with Gaddafi. I mean, if we get a Denver owner in there that can play, you never know. That's the thing about these empty teams. If we get some owners on them and they come in here and they dominate, it changes the dynamic of what happens.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, all right. So right now we're predicting Miami Baltimore, Indiana, and I said Kansas City to win the divisions, and uh, Buffalo, uh, Pittsburgh. Uh, it's a toss up between if at this point if any one of the three of us uh, Indiana Colts probably win the division maybe again. I mean, we'll see. We're all pretty even. I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of who messes up. Um, but the Kansas City Chiefs wins their division with maybe low sweater back in there again as a
Number two.
number two. Um, at this point, I guess we're good. We're just doing a little tap here just to give some news out. Anything outside of the gameplay you want to talk about? Everybody better check their rosters because supposedly this season you're going to get hit. So I would make it a point to make sure your stuff is correct. Um,
Oh, I
uh,
did see that Paris is the Oilers.
the Oilers. Okay.
Paris Oilers.
Okay. All right. So those Weathers is on the Oilers, who had the rushing yards for 22, rushing attempts for 118, and then you had uh, receiving yards. Legit was the Oilers, I guess.
So do you want to pick the NFC division winners or what?
Um, hold on. Didn't we?
We didn't do the NFC. We just did the AFC.
Okay. Because I was going by the that's the AFC: Steelers, Dolphins, Dragons, Ravens. Okay, so NFC. Um,
We got NFC North. We got the Lions, Wizards, Packers, and Orbits. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Lions, huh? Wizards, Packers, Orbits. All right. I mean, we can say that. We'll see we'll see what happens with uh, that team there. See what happens there. Okay, I'll go with the Lions.
I'm gonna
um,
say on the NFC South we got the. I'm gonna say the Saints and the Falcons make the playoffs. What say you?
um, well, because they did it last time, last season they both were in there, I believe. Um, okay, I'll agree with that.
Okay, and then we got the NFC East. We got the Giants, Black Knights. Yeah, I'm gonna both of those teams.
Who
The
wins the
Giants on
wait?
top.
Who wins the division?
Giants will win the division.
So you're
Even though
saying
he lost their first game.
okay?
Yeah.
Hmm. I'll go opposite. I'm gonna because I don't know what's going on. The Commanders is gonna get a win off a forced win, but we'll see how he plays his games. But at this rate, he hasn't played. So uh, okay, I'll go with the
Then we
Black
got.
Knights. I'll go with the Black
Oh,
Knights winning the division, and if Female decides he's gonna play like he knows he can, he'll make the playoffs.
all right. NFC West. Obviously, it's going to be the Rams winning the division, and we got Seahawks, Cardinals, and Gin 49ers.
Well, for me, yeah, and if nobody can in that division can hang with the Rams at this point, then you're just looking to try to get in the playoffs and hope that somebody knocks them off. You don't have to play them and you can move forward. That being the case, I'm gonna go back to the 49ers. He's due. Um, I don't know if his mind is clear and he's ready to win, or is he just gonna have a brain fart here and there and lose a game.
You're saying he's due to make the playoffs, not win the division, right?
Yeah, I don't see him winning unless people. I mean, let's take a look at the Rams schedule. I mean, the Rams is good, but he could be beat. I mean, I think his kryptonite is you could run on him. But you know, uh, when you look at the scheduling, that's what I'm saying. If you go in there and your schedule is great, then you can set yourself up to be in a good position. So right now he's got a nice little 4 game stretch he's got to get through. So he's got to play the Wizards. He already beat the Cardinals. Then he's got to play the Falcons. Then he's got the 49ers. And then he's got the Raiders. So I mean, he can either go 2-4-5-0, or he could split the difference. He could take another loss and go 3-2. We'll see. Because then he has the Patriots, which is an automatic win, and then a bye week, and then he comes back to the Seahawks. Uh, and however True Squad, I don't know if these guys ain't figuring out a way to slow him up, then he's gonna win. And then you got the Saints and the 49ers, so he can lose if these guys can get it together and hold him off. Um, then you got the Jets, and he's got the Bills, Cardinals, Dolphins, Buccaneers, Commanders, and Seahawks and Oilers. So I mean, he's got full teams to play. It's just what these guys do
Yeah,
with him.
I I don't I don't see him. He's definitely not going to win the division. He might make the playoffs.
Well, I'm looking at the Seahawks schedule, and he's got to play the 49ers next. He's got the Cardinals, he's got the Saints, and he's got the 49ers, and he's got the Cardinals. So I mean, he's right in there with, like, he's got to play 2 teams basically in 4 weeks. He's got to go play two, say the 49ers and the
I
Cardinals.
think the Cardinals actually have a better chance.
Well,
I mean, we can't sleep. You can't sleep on the Cardinals.
no. Again, the Cardinals' schedule might be a little different. Uh, okay, so the Cardinals they lost to the Rams. They're coming up against the Giants. They're coming up against the Seahawks. Then you got the Chiefs, the Lions, and then the Seahawks, and then the Dolphins. So that's 7 games right there. And out of those 7 games, Dolphins is going to give them a run. Never know with the Seahawks. The Lions is going to give them a run. The Chiefs is going to give them a run. And the Giants is going to give him a run. So I mean, he could pretty much just be out of 7 games. He could be 2-5, or 3-4. I mean, I don't see him going through all 5 teams, 6 teams, and win out. Going to the Jets with the 7-0 record, or 6-1 record. But we'll see. See, that's what I'm saying. The schedules dictate what'll happen. Who you come up against can because the morale thing comes into play. And if you look at the 49ers schedule, they got the win over this one, over the Broncos, but then they come up against the Seahawks. Then they play the Oilers. That's a winnable game. Then he's got to play the Rams. I mean, if he plays smart, he could take them. And you got the Seahawks again. Now you got to play the Falcons. Then you play the Jets. Then the Dolphins, Packers, Rams. So first 10 games, he can preferably win one. He could go 7-3. If he beats the Seahawks and the Oilers, he's 3-0. Then he comes and plays the Rams. Let's assume he gives the Rams a hard run, but the Rams win. Now he's 3-1. Then he plays the Seahawks. If he already beat him once, you probably can get him again. Then he's 4-1. Now you got to play You want to stay ahead of the game. You want to be over 500 when you get to week 7. You want to be over 500. You don't want to be under. You don't want to be on the under. He doesn't need to lose 3 games in a row after winning the first one. He needs to play
Right.
smart. He needs to play smart and try to split the difference so that when he doesn't have a break until week 11, his bye week. Because after the Jets, then he has to play the Dolphins, the Packers, and then the Rams again. So, his schedule is a little tough too. after the bye week, he's got Cardinals, Bills, Eagles, Saints, Bucks, Cardinals, Patriots. So he gets one. He gets, if he beats the Bills, he's got two freebies. So, if he beats the Eagles, he's got two freebies, and and then he got to play you. He's got to play Tory. He's got to play the Bucks and the Cardinals. So, he could write his own walk into the playoffs. It just depends on how he plays it for that. Seahawks are the same way. Seahawks, their schedule, it's a strength of schedule. Seahawks are going to play the 49ers and the Seahawks play each other in the first 5 weeks twice. So, and then you got the Saints in between there with the Cardinals. Saints in between that, between and then they come back and got to play the Falcons and the Rams. So, he ain't got no walk in the park. So he's got to play though. He can win.
Yeah.
Who else? So we got. See, I gotta get the screen up. Standings. We don't want.
Yeah, that's the last one. We got it. We
That's,
covered them all now.
that was the NFC. Okay. Right, West. All right. Well, that's where we're at. That's our little prediction there. We'll come back and revisit this in maybe week 6, let's say. We'll see where
Yeah.
people are.
Sounds good.
Or week 8 when it's half. We'll see who separates themselves from the pack. You know, um, and we'll see if the predictions we made come true. But anything else? Anything else you want to add? You had anything outside?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
All right then. All right. Well, another show down then. Uh, I guess I'll see you in week 7 or 8, depending on which one we want to take on to see who's where and what, and give a further update in the league.
Good luck in
Um,
your game against me starting tomorrow.
yeah, well, thanks. Same here. I guess I could say that. Good luck for you too, but you beat me the last time, so I'm trying to get you this time even
Yeah.
more. So it's okay though. Good luck either way. All right. All right. This is I had a wife 09, Steve, and Panama Jack Wade, and we are officially ending this podcast. Everybody, play fair, play safe, and
Be good to
try
each other.
try to win.
Yeah.
Just try to win. All
All
right,
right.
man. I'll get with you.
All right.
All right, later.